What Mark Zuckerberg would do if he wanted to use credit cards to grow business fast. Mark Zuckerberg has always been known for his calculated approach to scaling businesses rapidly, and while Facebook famously bootstrapped its early growth, Zuckerberg's philosophy on leveraging available resources strategically offers valuable insights into how he might approach using credit cards as a business acceleration tool. His methodology isn't about reckless spending. It's about intelligent capital deployment, rapid experimentation, and creating compounding advantages before competitors can react. Step 1. Establish the foundation with strategic credit positioning. Zuckerberg would begin by treating credit cards not as debt instruments, but as short-term capital injections that buy time and speed. In his early Facebook days, he understood that velocity matters more than perfection. He would first secure multiple business credit cards with 0% introductory APR periods, typically ranging from 12 to 18 months. This creates an interest-free runway that essentially functions as free capital if managed correctly. The key here is treating these cards as strategic tools rather than emergency funds. Zuckerberg would likely separate cards by function, one dedicated entirely to advertising and customer acquisition, another for technology infrastructure and tools, and a third for operational expenses. This segmentation creates clarity and prevents the dangerous mixing of spending categories that leads to loss of financial control. Step 2. Deploy capital exclusively toward measurable growth metrics. Here, that's where Zuckerberg's data-driven mindset becomes critical. He would never spend a single dollar without knowing exactly what return that dollar should generate. Every credit card expenditure would be tied directly to key performance indicators. If spending on Facebook ads, he would calculate the exact customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, and payback period before the campaign even launches. Zuckerberg famously said that Facebook's growth team focused obsessively on getting users to connect with 7 friends in 10 days because data showed this was the magic number for retention. He would apply this same rigorous analytical framework to credit card spending. For instance, if investing in software tools, he would measure exactly how much time these tools save and convert that time into revenue-generating activities. If the math doesn't work, the spending doesn't happen. This disciplined approach prevents the common trap of using credit to fund lifestyle expenses or vanity projects that don't move core business metrics. Step 3. Master the art of rapid testing and iteration. Zuckerberg's mantra has always been move fast and break things, later refined to move fast with stable infrastructure. With credit cards providing immediate capital, he would run dozens of small experiments simultaneously. Rather than committing large sums to unproven strategies, he would allocate smaller amounts across multiple channels, testing different advertising platforms, different product offerings, different customer segments. The credit card becomes the fuel for this experimentation engine. Perhaps $500 to test TikTok ads, another $500 for Google search campaigns, $300 for influencer partnerships. Each test runs for exactly 1 week with clear success metrics established up front. The winners get scaled aggressively. The losers get cut immediately. This rapid iteration cycle, enabled by readily available credit, allows for market learning that would take competitors months to acquire through more conservative funding approaches. Step 4. Create compounding advantages through strategic reinvestment. Once profitable channels are identified, Zuckerberg would implement an aggressive reinvestment strategy that he used to dominate social media. Every dollar of profit generated from credit-funded initiatives would immediately flow back into scaling what works. This creates a compounding effect where initial credit card investments become self-funding growth engines. If Facebook ads are generating a 3-to-1 return, he would max out credit limits on that channel while maintaining strict tracking of cash flow timing. The critical discipline here is maintaining a detailed cash flow calendar that maps exactly when credit card payments are due against when customer payments are expected. Zuckerberg would likely build or use specialized software to automate this tracking, ensuring that the business never gets caught in a cash crunch despite aggressive spending. Step 5. Leverage rewards and benefits as additional profit center. Zuckerberg's attention to detail and systems thinking would extend to maximizing every possible advantage from credit card programs themselves. Business credit cards often offer 2 to 5% cash back on specific categories, travel rewards, or points that convert to statement credits. On monthly spending of $20,000, which is reasonable for a scaling business, this represents $400 to $1,000 in monthly value that effectively reduces the cost of growth capital. He would strategically choose cards that align with major spending categories, perhaps an American Express card for advertising spend that offers bonus points, a Chase card for technology purchases, and a Capital One card for general operations. These rewards aren't trivial. They represent margin improvements that compound over time. Additionally, many business credit cards offer valuable perks like free employee cards, purchase protection, and extended warranties that reduce operational risk. Step 6. Build creditworthiness as a strategic asset. Zuckerberg thinks in systems and long-term value creation. He would use the credit card growth phase to simultaneously build business credit history that opens doors to larger capital sources later. By maintaining perfect payment history, keeping utilization below 30% when possible, and demonstrating consistent revenue growth funded by strategic credit use, the business becomes attractive to traditional lenders, venture capital, or strategic partners. This creditworthiness becomes a moat, a competitive advantage that allows for faster response to market opportunities. When a major partnership opportunity or acquisition target appears, having established credit facilities and relationships means being able to move decisively while competitors are still seeking funding approval. Step 7. Establish the exit strategy before deploying capital. Finally, Zuckerberg would never begin this credit-fueled growth strategy without a clear plan for transitioning away from credit dependence. The goal isn't to build a business that relies permanently on credit cards, but to use them as a temporary accelerant that gets the business to self-sustaining profitability faster and organic growth alone. He would establish specific milestones that trigger different phases. Perhaps once monthly revenue exceeds $50,000, the business transitions to using credit cards purely for cash flow management rather than growth capital. Once reaching $100,000 in monthly revenue, the business should be exploring line of credit facilities with better terms. The credit cards served their purpose. They bought speed, they enabled testing, they created competitive advantage. But the end game is always sustainable, profitable growth that no longer requires external capital to maintain momentum. This approach embodies everything Zuckerberg has demonstrated throughout his career: aggressive, yet calculated risk-taking, obsessive focus on metrics, rapid experimentation, and systematic thinking that turns short-term tactics into long-term strategic advantages.